Kids who are smart but are struggling because they're perceived as being lazy or unmotivated or opposition or not trying hard enough, there's something that's much deeper sometimes for them. Basically, my kid is drowning in information and can't compete on the same level as other kids. Can't access, for example, the classroom conversation, can't follow it because it's going too quick, or the printed work, or the written directions. If there's an assignment on the board, if he has an article, the word problem, the story, the note-taking, the reading, the task steps, basically for him, the brain basically goes into overwhelm and he goes into a state of shame. And this has happened early on for years, pretty much every single time. And it's not because he's broken, it's literally because he can't access the information. Now, there are some things educationally that he needs, for example, reading instruction. That's a great example of something that he might be here, but his ability is actually up here. But since he can't access it, there's this huge gap. And again, I'm not a reading specialist, so I highly recommend you find a great reading specialist that works with your kiddo with whatever that they need. But what I wanted to do, and I'm starting to realize, is the problem isn't the reading, it wasn't the behavior, it wasn't the motivation, it wasn't the effort. The problem literally is the ability to access. When we talk about access, a lot of these kids have assistive technology, for example, and in their IEPs it'll be written what assistive technology that they have. But if you actually look at those assistive technologies, they are pretty cumbersome. If you want to read, you have to open up this program. If you want to write, you have to open up this program. If you want to create something, you have to open up this program. There's 4 or 5 different steps that kind of come aligned. And what I have realized, how do I explain this? The issue, while the technology is incredibly helpful and actually even much more advanced than it ever has been, the real issue is that they don't have a workflow to access the technology in the easiest way that they can, meaning less steps. I mean, you're talking about a kid who has executive functioning and we're asking them to do multi-steps. They have to be almost cued every single time to know what that is, to figure out what their workflow is to get to the answer that they need to, or to get the information that they need to. So what I'm talking about specifically is how can we utilize a technology workflow so that they can access what they need, so that they can output so that they can be successful. So I want to walk you through like what access really is and what I mean by that term. Why your kid avoids things, why they sometimes feel like they're hijacking learning. If you're a teacher, like there's a student who's kind of hijacking the moment, and basically how to use different technology to really level the playing field for these kids. And I'm going to specifically talk about AI, and it's not going to be popular because a lot of people perceive AI as cheating. And I'm going to dispel that myth, because for these kids, AI can actually provide a huge ability to be able to listen, communicate, get input, give output, and if it's used correctly as a workflow, it can make a significant difference in a kid's life, of them being able to participate and feel confident about themselves. And all the meanwhile, while they're building kind of their capacity, they're still working on those fundamental things that they need. If this sounds like any of your house, your life, or like you're curious, like trying to figure out what it is that I'm talking about, I'm going to ask that you subscribe to my channel. It is a new channel, and you know, there's historical information on my channel there, but like I want you to know, like, you're in the right place. If any of this sounds like your house, your kid, your experience, your frustration, whether you're a parent or even a student, or if you are a teacher, I want you to watch my videos. I'm going to share with you how to really increase your workflow utilizing assistive technology, specifically AI, and how you can also use a whole host of other programs to provide you access to the content that you need, and or your student to the content that you need, or your child to the content that they need. That's what this channel is about.